Okay, so here's a quick video showing all the new features in the latest build of WrapR for SketchUp. So I want to unwrap this chair and texture paint it so we get wood here and we get a fabric up the top. So the first thing we need to do is apply a texture. Now, sometimes when you have models, they might intersect and become one. Other times you might get an import or build something that doesn't intersect. The reason why I have them like this is because I'm going to bake out an AO map and we're going to get some natural ambient occlusion around here and in around here that I want and around up there. So the fact that this isn't intersected when I select it's a good thing. So the first thing we need to do is paint on a texture. So select everything and go grab a texture. WrapR will come with these at some point. Be able to paint in these texture maps and you can see all the textures are skewed. So we need to make some cuts, and we can do that inside in SketchUp before we export it. And it detects that I have some cuts done already. Rather than you watching me do the cuts again, I'm just going to say I'm going to continue cutting, yes. And I'll show you the cuts. And a handy way to view cuts is just to set the face style to monochrome, go into X-ray mode. And you can see I've cut all the four corners here on the cushion. I've cut all around the back of the chair, I've cut the corners, and I've kind of chopped off the bottom of these legs, this square element, and kind of split up the center of the tubular shape. I've done the same on the supports, just one cut along the bottom on each side. And the way the cutting tool works is, by default, you can mark a cut edge by edge. You can hit the tab key and clear the cut. You can press the shift key and you go into loop mode where it'll look for a natural loop in the mesh and you can mark all those in one go. Or you can press the control key and it'll use a start to end point and follow the best path you can find. So all those cuts are marked. I'm just going to go back into shaded with texture mode. And we're ready to export. So select all the mesh, click export to WrapR. You can see it's important and it'll finalize. Does it pretty quickly and we get our mesh. Now you can see it's not ideal yet. I've missed some cuts obviously. You can see here I've missed a cut, so select cut. That unwraps. Inside WrapR there's two wrapping methods or unwrapping methods. By default it's got this least square common multiple method active. The other method is angle based. Angle based is better for kind of more boxy shapes, and this is a lot more boxy shapes than organic shapes, so I'm going to go with turning that mapping method off. I'm going to set my selection to select only visible, so I don't select right through, it stops at what I see. And we can look at texture distortion here. You can see this red area is showing a lot of distortion, and this blue area is showing a lot of stretching. So we need to fix that. So obviously I've missed some cuts, and you can see them here, so I can just select an edge, press C to cut, and it'll unwrap again, do it again, grab this one here, cut it, and finally this one. And now this is unwrapped. But if we go back to texture mode, you can see the red is reduced quite a bit. And it's pretty okay. If you want to see, you can just go up to textures, show the SketchUp texture, and we can see the model texture we applied. And if you press the square brackets key, you can give it more density. So you begin to see how the texture is appearing on the face. And if you're seeing any bigger squares or smaller squares somewhere, then you'll know you're stretching or shrinking. It's a nice way of looking at it. I'm just going to set it back and go back to our default color numbers. And finish off our cuts. I missed a cut in here. Press the C key. Do it again on the other one. And you can see both these parts of the chair leg are now unwrapped cleanly. These are the supports at the bottom, they're fine. This is the back of the chair. I can see that this is the foot of one of them. It's the front one, which we cut all the edges, but we missed some edges here, so I'll weld those back and cut this. Still have one edge, cut that. And now these pretty much match. These are the square boxes along here. They seem to be fine. And this is this element at the back, which we haven't really tackled properly. We with no cuts in it. So if I double click, it'll select the loop the whole way. I don't want that, so I'll just click one edge, hold the T key, click here, so my code is going to run across the back. You'll see this gets splayed out now. So press C, and there we go. So now I need to rearrange my island so I get the best textile density. So hit the U key to go into UV selection mode. I'm going to move all these out of the 0 to 1 UV space and move them back in manually. Press the U key again, double click to select any island that you want to. So I want to move this, which is this cushion. If I press the M key, I can move it around. And if I hold shift, the constraint up and down. If I hold control, constraint just to left and right. So you can be pretty accurate where you put it. I'm going to put it down here, best as possible. And I've got to be thinking that, you know, the texture I apply, if I want the fabric run in this direction, and I can see that this is orientated the wrong way for that to happen on the back of the chair. So I need to rotate that. So I double click it, press U, double click, press Q for rotation, and you can start to rotate. If you hold shift, the rotation will be constrained to, I think, 5 or 10 degrees. And then M, hold control, and then shift to drag it into place. So I put this one here. We have one piece of fabric, which is the back of the chair. Again, it needs rotating. So Q, hold shift. I want it this way because this is the top. I'm watching here, I can see the pink square, which is coming in here. So this is top to bottom. And then move it. I'll move it down here. So now I know all my fabrics are kind of contained in this corner of the texture space. The rest of these are woods. Now our wood grain, I'm going to want to be running up and down on the image texture, so I need to reorientate some of these. These cross braces, if I shift and double click, I'll grab them both. I can move those here. I'm going to pack these tightly and then scale them up. I'll do the same here, grab these, shift and Q will rotate and snap. Move them here. Kind of, there's a bit of space, but I want to increase that space between them. So M and hold shift, just push it up a couple of bit, few pixels depending on how big your texture image will be. Again, this needs rotating. Q and hold shift, and it should be this way. Move that into place here. These squares. So what I'm going to do so nothing funky happens is press U, select all these, and P to pin them. So I'm going to do some manipulation on these, and because it's a live unwrap, it'll actually reorientate the islands. We don't want that. So what do we do? Actually, I'm just going to move it down because we can use that to our advantage. And both of them need to be rotated. Then move them down. I'm going to grab these two, move those there. Move those down. Grab this one, put it across, put it like here. This is fine. I'm happy with that. Click save. See here, it creates a new mesh. Do you want to exit? I want to continue. You click yes or no. I want to exit it. Then we just right click, reload from WrapR. And you can see our texture is mapped. Next up, we're going to do exporting and substance painter.